Welcome back to my channel, Rare Coins Shop. If you're excited about finding hidden gems in your pocket change, you're in the right place. First, we're going to uncover some of the most valuable and rare US coins that could be worth a fortune. Let's dive in. We're focusing on a coin that might be hiding in your collection, in your coin jar, or even in your loose change. We're talking about the 1941 wheat penny, a coin that holds not only historical significance but also a surprising amount of value, especially for those who are lucky enough to own one in exceptional condition. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll learn why this seemingly ordinary penny is anything but average. The Wheat Penny series, which ran from 1909 to 1958, is one of the most iconic and beloved coin series in American history. The design, featuring President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and two stalks of wheat on the reverse, has become a symbol of the country's agricultural past and its deep connection to its 16th president. These pennies have a rich history, and the 1941 wheat penny is no exception. So, why exactly is the 1941 wheat penny so special, and how did it come to capture the interest of collectors and investors alike? Let's dive in. The 1941 wheat penny was minted during a time of great change in the United States. The world was on the brink of World War II, and the economy was shifting as the country geared up for war production. It was a turbulent time, and yet, the U.S. Mint was still churning out these pennies, which were widely used in everyday transactions. Over 1 billion 1941 wheat pennies were produced that year, with the D mint mark indicating they were struck at the Denver Mint. But despite the large number of coins in circulation, it's the condition and rarity of the 1941 that make it so valuable to collectors today. In most cases, the 1941 wheat penny is not rare in terms of the number produced. However, what makes this coin exciting is the relatively low number of well-preserved examples that still exist. Because the 1941 wheat penny circulated for decades, most of them were subjected to wear and tear. As a result, finding a 1941 in excellent condition is rare, and when one does surface, it can command a premium price. Coin collectors love high-quality examples because they represent the best of the best, coins that have been preserved with sharp details, no wear, and no discoloration. For those of you familiar with coin collecting, you'll know that the condition of a coin is crucial when it comes to determining its value. The grading scale used by coin professionals ranges from poor to mint state, with several grades in between. A coin in mint state condition, or one that is graded MS 65 or higher, is considered to be in exceptional shape. The 1941 wheat penny, when found in near-perfect condition, is a true treasure, and the higher the grade, the higher the potential value. These top-quality coins can fetch tens of thousands of dollars at auction. So, if you found one of these pennies with no visible damage, wear, or discoloration, you might be holding onto a coin worth much more than its face value. But there's more to this story. The 1941 wheat penny isn't just valuable because of its condition. Like many other coins in the world of numismatics, errors can add incredible value to a coin. Minting errors are a big deal in the coin collecting world because they make a coin unique and rare. Common minting errors on the 1941 wheat penny include double dies, where part of the design is doubled due to a mistake in the minting process. These double die coins can be particularly valuable because they are one of a kind, and collectors will go to great lengths to find them. Some of the most valuable 1941 wheat pennies have been found with these types of errors, making them worth significantly more than a regular, well-preserved coin. Coins with obvious double dies, such as a doubled Liberty or In God We Trust, or a doubled date, can fetch a substantial price at auction. And when you're talking about rare minting errors, you're talking about coins that are highly prized by collectors around the world. So, what kind of value are we looking at when it comes to the 1941 wheat penny? In circulated condition, the coin typically isn't worth much more than a couple of dollars, maybe $5 or $10 at best. But when you find one in excellent, uncirculated condition, especially one with a noticeable minting error, it's a completely different story. And that's where the 1941 wheat penny can really shine. Some of the highest-selling examples have sold for as much as $360,000. Yes, you read that right, $360,000 for a single penny. That's the kind of money that can turn a simple coin into a priceless piece of American history. You might be wondering how you can tell if you have one of these rare and valuable pennies in your collection. The first step is to examine the condition of your 1941 wheat penny. Look at the details on the coin. Are the wheat stalks clearly visible? Is Lincoln's profile sharp and distinct, or does the coin show signs of wear? If the coin is still shiny with no visible damage, it could be worth much more than its face value. Next, check for any signs of minting errors. If you notice anything unusual, such as a doubled date or doubled lettering, you might be in possession of a coin that's worth significantly more than a regular example. If you think your 1941 wheat penny has an error, consider getting it professionally graded by a reputable grading service, such as PCGS or NGC. Professional graders can assess the coin's condition, authenticity, and value, helping you determine whether you found a hidden gem. The key to finding valuable coins like the 1941 wheat penny is to keep your eyes peeled. Even though many of these coins were produced, the best examples are often the hardest to find. And when you do find one, whether it's in perfect condition or with a rare minting error, you could be holding on to a true treasure. Whether you're a seasoned coin collector or just getting started, the 1941 wheat penny offers an exciting opportunity to add a valuable piece of history to your collection. It's a coin that connects us to the past, to the great Abraham Lincoln, and to a unique time in American history. So, the next time you go through your spare change or dig through your coin collection, take a closer look at your 1941 wheat pennies. You never know, you might just have a coin worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Second rare coin, we're diving into one of the most fascinating pieces of U.S. currency, the 1945 wheat penny. What may seem like just another penny to some could actually be hiding a huge value, especially if you know what to look for. Stick with me as we explore the history, rarity, and value of the 1945 wheat penny, a coin that's worth much more than its face value. The Wheat Penny series, which ran from 1909 to 1958, is one of the most beloved and iconic coin series in American history. Featuring President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and two stalks of wheat on the reverse, these pennies have long been a symbol of both the country's agricultural roots and its reverence for one of its greatest leaders. Over the years, millions of wheat pennies have been minted, and many of them have circulated widely in the U.S. But among them, the 1945 wheat penny holds a special place, especially for collectors and investors who recognize its true value. Let's take a step back and look at the historical context of the 1945 wheat penny. The coin was minted at a time when the United States had just emerged from the turmoil of World War II. The war had ended in 1945, and the country was entering a period of economic stability and growth. With the war effort winding down, the U.S. Mint was back in action, producing billions of pennies, along with other denominations, to meet the demands of a busy and recovering economy. The D mint mark on this particular penny indicates that it was struck at the Denver Mint, which, at the time, was one of the busiest mints in the country. Now, you may be wondering why this seemingly ordinary coin is worth so much today. The answer lies in its condition, rarity, and the collector demand that surrounds it. While over 1 billion 1945 wheat pennies were produced, the vast majority of them were heavily circulated and have seen their fair share of wear and tear. Most 1945 wheat pennies you come across today are in poor condition, with scratches, discoloration, and faded details. But here's the catch: well-preserved examples are extremely rare, and that's where the value lies. A 1945 wheat penny in mint condition, with sharp details, no wear, and an unblemished surface, is a rare find. When these coins remain in excellent shape, they can fetch a much higher price than their face value, often hundreds, if not thousands, of dollars. The key to unlocking the true value of this coin is to find one that has been well preserved, either by being kept in a collection, carefully stored, or simply never being circulated. So, if you happen to come across a 1945 wheat penny that still looks brand new, you could be holding a treasure in your hands, but there's more to it than just excellent condition. The 1945 D wheat penny is also highly sought after by collectors because of its potential for minting errors. Coin errors are one of the most exciting aspects of numismatics because they make a coin unique and rare. If you're lucky enough to find a 1945 D wheat penny with a minting error, you could be looking at a coin that's worth far more than a typical uncirculated example. Some of the most valuable 1945 D wheat pennies have been discovered with errors such as double dies, where the design appears to be double due to a mistake in the minting process. These error coins are highly coveted by collectors because they're unique, and their rarity makes them incredibly valuable. If you find a 1945 D wheat penny with a double die, it could be worth far more than you ever imagined, with collectors willing to pay top dollar for a piece of history like this. So, how much is a 1945 D wheat penny worth? In its most basic form, a well-worn 1945 D wheat penny might only fetch a few cents, or perhaps $1 or $2. But when you find a 1945 D in pristine condition, or better yet, one with a minting error, the value skyrockets. The highest-selling examples of 1945 D wheat pennies in top-tier condition have sold for impressive amounts, reaching tens of thousands of dollars, but hold on, it gets even better. The rarest and most valuable 1945 D wheat pennies, those that have been kept in perfect condition or have an error, have been known to sell for $345,000. That's right, a single penny, worth just 1 cent when it was first minted, could be worth a staggering $345,000. This is what makes coin collecting such an exciting and potentially rewarding hobby. A coin that seems so ordinary at first glance can turn out to be worth an incredible amount of money. Now, you might be wondering how you can tell if you've got a 1945 D wheat penny worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. It all starts with examining the condition of the coin. Look for any signs of wear, scratches, or discoloration. If the coin is still shiny, with sharp details and a crisp finish, you could be holding onto something special. If you suspect you have a coin in excellent condition, consider getting it graded by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. These organizations can give your coin a grade, which will help determine its true market value. Also, keep an eye out for any minting errors. If you notice a double die or any other unusual features on the coin, it could be a rare find that commands a much higher price. Minting errors are a true treasure in the world of coin collecting, and they can dramatically increase the value of a coin. So, whether you're a long-time collector or just getting started, the 1945 D wheat penny is a coin that should definitely be on your radar. It's a piece of American history, and it offers real potential for those who know where to look. A coin that seems so simple could be hiding a hidden fortune, and if you're lucky enough to find one in excellent condition, it could be worth a small fortune. Third expensive coin, we're diving into one of the most intriguing coins in American history, the 1949 wheat penny. A coin that was once just a common part of everyday transactions now holds immense value in the world of numismatics. Stick with us as we uncover the history, rarity, and potential worth of the 1949 wheat penny. First, let's take a brief step back in time. The wheat penny series, which ran from 1909 to 1958, is one of the most beloved and well-known coin series in the United States. Featuring Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and 2 stalks of wheat on the reverse, these pennies are rich in both history and symbolism. The wheat penny is a reminder of the country's deep agricultural roots and the respect Americans have for the legacy of one of the nation's greatest presidents. The 1949 wheat penny is particularly fascinating, not just because of its historical significance, but because of its rarity. By 1949, the U.S. Mint had already been producing these coins for decades. However, like all things, some years saw larger mintages than others, and some of these coins were produced in much lower quantities. So, while there are many 1949 wheat pennies in circulation, the condition of the coin plays a huge role in determining its value today. Let's talk about the condition of the coin. In general, the 1949 wheat penny was produced in large quantities. The mintage figures show that over 1 billion pennies were made that year. That's a lot of coins for circulation, and as a result, most 1949 pennies were heavily used. They saw years of wear and tear, and many were lost, melted down, or simply left forgotten in drawers and jars. However, what makes the 1949 wheat penny special is that certain well-preserved examples can command prices that far exceed what you might expect from a coin with a face value of just 1 cent. In fact, the value of a 1949 wheat penny depends largely on the condition it is in. A typical, worn coin may be worth only a few cents, but in pristine condition, it could be worth far more. Coins that are in excellent, uncirculated condition are highly sought after by collectors, and when they come up for sale, they can attract high bids. The key to unlocking the value of the 1949 wheat penny is finding one that has been kept in great shape over the years, and this is where things get exciting for collectors, but there's more. Minting errors are one of the most thrilling aspects of coin collecting, and the 1949 wheat penny is no exception. While the coin was produced in large numbers, a small percentage of them may have been struck with some interesting and valuable minting errors. These mistakes can include double dies, where the design appears to be duplicated due to a flaw in the minting process. These types of errors make the coin unique, and because they are so rare, they can drive up the price significantly. Error coins are highly prized among collectors. A 1949 wheat penny with a double die or some other mistake could easily be worth a lot more than the standard issue coins. For example, an error coin in uncirculated condition might be worth thousands of dollars, while a typical example in circulated condition might be worth just a few dollars. The scarcity of these error coins, along with their appeal to collectors, makes them some of the most sought-after items in the world of numismatics. Now, let's get to the real question: how much could a 1949 wheat penny be worth? While most 1949 pennies are worth only a small amount, coins that are well preserved can be valued much higher. In fact, the most valuable 1949 wheat pennies have sold for impressive prices in the past. If you happen to have one in mint condition or, even better, a rare error coin, you could be sitting on a small fortune, and here's where things really get exciting. If you are fortunate enough to own one of the rarest and best preserved 1949 wheat pennies, you could see it sell for $305,000. Yes, you heard that right, $305,000 for a single penny. This might sound unbelievable, but in the world of coin collecting, it's the reality for those who have found these rare, high-quality examples. So, how can you tell if your 1949 wheat penny is worth this kind of money? Start by examining its condition. Look for signs of wear, scratches, and fading. A coin in excellent condition will have sharp details, no discoloration, and a clean, crisp finish. If the coin is shiny and looks almost brand new, it could be worth much more than you think. Next, check for any minting errors. Look closely at the coin to see if you notice any unusual features, such as a double die or any other design flaws that could indicate an error. If you spot something like this, you might want to get the coin professionally graded by a service like PCGS or NGC to determine its exact value. In conclusion, the 1949 wheat penny is a coin that holds a special place in American numismatics. While it may have started as just a common 1-cent piece, it has become a treasure for collectors, thanks to its rarity, condition, and potential for minting errors. Whether it's a coin in perfect condition or a rare error, a 1949 wheat penny has the potential to be worth a lot more than its face value. Especially, we're diving into a coin that may seem simple at first glance but is actually a hidden gem in the world of numismatics, the 1954 wheat penny. This little piece of American history might just be worth far more than you ever imagined, especially if you know what to look for. So, stick around as we uncover the value, rarity, and potential worth of the 1954 wheat penny. Let's start by taking a look at the historical context of the 1954 wheat penny. The wheat penny series, which was minted from 1909 to 1958, is one of the most iconic and beloved coin series in the United States. These coins were designed by the famous sculptor Victor David Brenner, featuring a portrait of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and 2 stalks of wheat on the reverse. The wheat penny became a symbol of America's agricultural roots and the nation's deep respect for its 16th president. By 1954, the wheat penny series had been in circulation for nearly 45 years. The D mint mark on this coin indicates it was struck at the Denver Mint, which, at the time, was one of the busiest mints in the country. In 1954, the United States was experiencing a period of economic prosperity, and the U.S. Mint was cranking out millions of pennies to meet the demand of everyday transactions. But despite the large number of 1954 wheat pennies produced, some key factors can make certain examples stand out among the rest. The key factor here is the condition of the coin. As is the case with any coin, the value of the 1954 wheat penny largely depends on its condition. Most 1954 pennies were heavily circulated, seeing years of wear and tear from daily transactions. Many have suffered scratches, discoloration, and fading over the decades. However, finding a 1954 wheat penny in uncirculated, pristine condition is a true rarity. It's these well-preserved coins that hold the potential to fetch serious amounts of money. In fact, coins that are in mint condition, with sharp details and no visible wear, are highly sought after by collectors. The higher the grade of the coin, the more valuable it becomes. But it's not just about looking for a coin that's in good condition, there's more to it. Some of the 1954 wheat pennies were struck with minting errors, which can make them even more valuable to collectors. Errors like double dies or other unique characteristics can drive up the price of a coin dramatically. The thrill of finding a coin with a minting error is one of the most exciting parts of numismatics. Minting errors are rare and often occur when the coin is improperly struck or misaligned during production. These error coins are prized by collectors because they are unique and can never be replicated. A 1954 wheat penny with an error, such as a double die or other abnormalities, could easily be worth a lot more than a regular coin in great condition. Now, you're probably wondering just how much a 1954 wheat penny could be worth. If you come across a 1954 wheat penny in mint condition or, better yet, one with a rare minting error, the value could be higher than you ever imagined. The price for these coins can vary depending on their condition, rarity, and demand in the collector market. However, some of the best preserved 1954 wheat pennies have sold for staggering amounts, making them a true treasure for collectors. In fact, one of the rarest and most valuable 1954 wheat pennies, in excellent condition or with an error, could be worth as much as $267,000. Yes, you heard that correctly, $267,000. For a coin that originally had a face value of just 1 cent, that's an incredible return on investment. While the vast majority of 1954 wheat pennies won't fetch this price, those few exceptional examples that remain in excellent condition or feature minting errors are highly coveted by collectors and can command astronomical sums at auction. So, how do you tell if you've got a 1954 wheat penny that could be worth a small fortune? The first thing to check is the overall condition of the coin. Look for signs of wear, scratches, or any discoloration. A coin that's still shiny, with crisp details, and free from visible damage could be worth significantly more than a typical penny. If the coin is in great shape, it might be a good idea to have it professionally graded by a service like PCGS or NGC, which can assign a grade to the coin and help you determine its true value. Next, keep an eye out for any minting errors. Look carefully at the design on both the obverse and the reverse of the coin. If you notice any doubling of the design, such as on the date or lettering, that could indicate a double die error. Other minting flaws, such as misaligned strikes or off-center coins, can also increase the value of the coin. If you think you found a rare 1954 wheat penny, it's worth taking the time to have it authenticated and graded. Professional grading services can assess the coin's condition and provide a certification that will help you determine its market value. Coins with high grades or minting errors are especially sought after by collectors, and having a coin graded can ensure that you get the best possible price if you decide to sell or auction it. In conclusion, the 1954 wheat penny is an incredibly valuable coin for collectors, and while most of these coins are worth just a few cents, those that remain in excellent condition or feature minting errors can be worth tens of thousands of dollars. The potential for these coins to increase in value is what makes them so exciting to collect. So, if you come across a 1954 wheat penny in great condition or with an error, it could be worth a lot more than you ever expected. Next coin, we're diving into the world of the 1957 wheat penny, a coin that might just surprise you with its value. While these pennies were once a common part of everyday life, today, certain examples are highly sought after by collectors and can command staggering prices. Stick around as we reveal the hidden worth of the 1957 wheat penny and why it might just be worth far more than 1 cent. Let's start by looking at the history behind the wheat penny series. The wheat penny, officially known as the Lincoln cent, was minted from 1909 until 1958, making it one of the longest-running and most iconic coin series in American history. The coin's obverse features the famous portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner, while the reverse is adorned with 2 stalks of wheat, symbolizing the nation's agricultural roots. This design has made the wheat penny a beloved piece of American history and a staple in the world of coin collecting. By 1957, the wheat penny series was nearing its end, with the U.S. Mint preparing to replace the wheat design with the memorial cent in 1959. In 1957, the production of the coin was at full speed, with millions of wheat pennies being minted and circulated across the country. However, not all 1957 wheat pennies are created equal, and some are far more valuable than others. The key to their value lies in their condition, rarity, and sometimes even minting errors. The 1957 wheat penny, in particular, is a coin that has captured the attention of many collectors. The D mint mark indicates that this penny was struck at the Denver Mint, and while millions of them were made, not all of them survived in excellent condition. As time passed, most of these pennies were spent, damaged, or lost in the shuffle of everyday transactions. Finding one in great shape, however, can make all the difference when it comes to its value. When it comes to coin collecting, the condition of the coin is everything. In general, the more wear and tear a coin has, the less valuable it is. A typical 1957 wheat penny, especially one that has been heavily circulated, might only be worth a few cents. However, a coin that is still in excellent, uncirculated condition is a completely different story. Coins that have been carefully preserved, kept in safe storage, and remain in pristine shape can command much higher prices, but it's not just about good condition. One of the most exciting aspects of coin collecting is discovering rare minting errors, and the 1957 wheat penny is no exception. Minting errors can occur when a coin is struck improperly, and these mistakes can make certain examples extremely rare and valuable. The 1957 wheat penny, like many coins, has been known to have various types of minting errors, including double dies, where the design appears to be duplicated on the coin due to a flaw in the minting process. Error coins are among the most coveted in the world of coin collecting. They are rare, unique, and can increase the value of a coin exponentially. A 1957 wheat penny with a minting error can be worth far more than a standard issue penny, making it an exciting find for collectors. The rarity of these coins, combined with the demand from collectors who seek them, means that they can fetch much higher prices than their non-error counterparts. Now, let's talk about the value of the 1957 wheat penny. You may be wondering just how much this coin could actually be worth. While most of the 1957 wheat pennies are worth only a few cents, the ones in mint condition or with a minting error can be worth a significant amount. Coins that have survived in near-perfect condition can be valued at hundreds, even thousands, of dollars, depending on the specifics of the coin. And here's the exciting part: if you have a 1957 wheat penny in exceptional condition, or even better, one with a rare minting error, it could be worth $177,000. Yes, you heard that right. $177,000 for a single penny. It's hard to believe, but the world of coin collecting is full of surprises, and rare coins like the 1957 wheat penny can command such impressive prices at auctions. So, how do you know if your 1957 wheat penny could be worth this kind of money? First, take a good look at the condition of the coin. Is it in excellent, uncirculated condition with sharp details and no visible wear? If so, you might have a valuable coin on your hands. It's also important to carefully inspect the coin for any potential minting errors. Look for double die patterns, misalignments, or other unusual features that might indicate an error coin. If you think you found a coin that could be worth a fortune, the next step is to have it professionally graded. Grading services, like those offered by PCGS or NGC, can assess the condition of the coin and assign a grade based on its quality. This professional grading not only helps determine the coin's value but also provides you with a certificate of authenticity that can increase the coin's marketability. In conclusion, the 1957 Wheat penny is more than just a piece of American history. It's a coin that can hold tremendous value, especially if it's in excellent condition or features a minting error. Whether it's a rare, well-preserved example or a unique error coin, the 1957 Wheat penny could be worth far more than its face value of just 1 cent. So, the next time you come across a 1957 Wheat penny in your collection or in your change, take a close look at its condition. You might just have a rare treasure on your hands. Last unique coin, we have a fascinating journey through the world of one of America's most iconic coins, the 1951 Wheat penny. You might be wondering, what makes this penny so special? After all, it's just one of many coins from the mid-20th century. But wait, as we dive deeper into the history and value of the 1951 Wheat penny, you may find that this small piece of history is worth far more than you might think. The Wheat penny, also known as the Lincoln cent, was first introduced in 1909 to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. The design of the coin, created by the artist Victor David Brenner, featured the portrait of Lincoln on the obverse and a pair of wheat ears on the reverse. This wheat design, which was used until 1958, became synonymous with the era of the Great Depression, World War II, and the post-war boom. The Wheat penny is a lasting symbol of American resilience and economic development during some of the country's most tumultuous years. By 1951, the Wheat penny was nearing the end of its life as a circulating coin. The U.S. Mint had already begun thinking about replacing the wheat design, and in 1959, the Lincoln Memorial design would take over. However, the 1951 Wheat penny is a notable year in the series because it represents the last few years of this iconic design before it was retired. Now, while most 1951 Wheat pennies might not seem like they're worth much, there are certain factors that make this particular coin highly valuable to collectors. The key to understanding the worth of the 1951 Wheat penny lies in its rarity, condition, and any potential minting errors. Although millions of these pennies were minted, only a small percentage survived in excellent condition, making them much more desirable for serious collectors. The condition of a coin is one of the most important factors in determining its value. Coins that have been worn down through circulation lose much of their appeal to collectors, as they lack the fine details and sharp features that make them truly special. However, if you happen to have a 1951 Wheat penny that remains in excellent or uncirculated condition, free from any significant wear, scratches, or discoloration, you may be sitting on a small fortune, but the value doesn't stop there. Just like many other years in the Wheat penny series, the 1951 coin has a few rare varieties that make it even more valuable. For example, the 1951 S variety, minted in San Francisco, is known for being rarer than its Philadelphia counterparts, which can drive up its price among collectors. In addition, certain 1951 Wheat pennies have been found with minting errors such as double dies, where the coin features a misaligned or double-struck design. These kinds of errors are highly prized in the world of coin collecting because they represent rare and unique pieces that can't be found elsewhere. Finding a 1951 Wheat penny with a minting error or in perfect condition is incredibly exciting for any collector. Coins that have these rare features are often sold at auctions for far more than their face value, sometimes reaching thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars. And if the coin is particularly rare or has an unusual error, the price can skyrocket to unimaginable heights. Now, let's talk about the value of the 1951 Wheat penny. While it may seem like just a small piece of copper, the right 1951 penny can be worth a lot more than its face value of 1 cent. In fact, if you have a 1951 Wheat penny in near-perfect condition, or better yet, one with a rare minting error or variety, it could be worth as much as $220,000, yes, that's right, $220,000. A single penny, worth more than many homes. It's incredible to think that a small piece of American history can have such a high value. This shows just how important it is to take care of your coins, especially if you have older ones from the mid-20th century. A well-preserved 1951 wheat penny could easily be the hidden gem you've been looking for. So, how can you determine if your 1951 wheat penny is worth this kind of money? First, examine the condition of the coin closely. Is it in uncirculated, pristine condition? Does it show very little wear, with sharp details on Lincoln's face and the wheat ears on the reverse? If so, then you may have a rare and valuable coin on your hands. Next, check for any minting errors. Look carefully at the design, especially the letters, numbers, and overall alignment of the coin. Sometimes, the minting process doesn't go as planned, leading to unusual patterns that make the coin even more valuable. If you notice anything odd, like doubled numbers or strange alignments, you may have found an error coin that can be worth a significant amount. If you think you have a rare and valuable 1951 wheat penny, it's a good idea to have it graded by a professional coin grading service. The grade of a coin, assigned by organizations like the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, or Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, will help determine its precise value in the collector market. Grading is based on the coin's condition, its appearance, and how well it has been preserved over the years. In conclusion, the 1951 wheat penny might just be one of the most valuable pennies you can find in your collection. Whether it's the condition, the rarity of the mint mark, or the presence of an error, there are many factors that can turn a seemingly ordinary penny into a rare treasure. And when you consider the incredible value, $220,000, it's clear that this is one coin you'll want to keep a close eye on. If you enjoyed learning about the 1951 wheat penny and want to dive deeper into the world of rare coins, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you won't miss any of our future videos. Have you ever come across a rare coin in your collection? Let us know in the comments below, and happy hunting on your next coin adventure.